Following on from part 1 of implementing a MODBUS master port on an ACE3600, in this video, part 2, I'll demonstrate how to create user table entries, including defining a poll timer, defining the MODBUS data type, enter data into a system table or modifying the system table, defining MODBUS register coordinates, and creating a small ladder application to drive the port. Let's begin from where we left off by right-clicking on the site we created in the project. So right-click, select View, and we go to Assign Application. Now this is our first application, so we go here to this little icon where it says New Application. So click on that, and we give the application a name. We'll call it MODBUS Master, and select OK. Hang on a second. So MODBUS Master and OK. Just close this screen down before we proceed, and we make sure we select the site that we want to assign the application to the site here. So we want to make sure that they're both associated with the right application. Select Apply and OK, and we'll come back to Application Programmer. Let's begin by selecting down here on the left hand side, Database. Click and expand on User Tables. Select User Tables, or left click on User Tables, right click and Append Table. Select Single Multiple Column Table. Table name, our first table is going to be Timer. So we just type in Timer and we give it a symbol name. We just call it PT, poll timer. Leave the table type a single column, and the data type we're going to select is time, obviously. So it's going to be minutes, seconds. So we'll select that and OK. And the table this table now is open. Enter in a last index, which one is 0, and we'll give this a name. The first one we'll call it poll timer 0, PT 0, and a value we'll put in 20 seconds. Okay, that's our first timer. Just close that. Again, come over here to User Tables, right click, Append Table. The next table we're going to create is the PLC variable, so we call it PLC VAL. PLC value, and we'll just call it give the PLC V. Okay, now the data type, we select PLC. There has to be one of these here. So these names here, PLC, they're all associated with the MODBUS master only. So in this instance we want a value input, so PLC value input. Select that and OK. Again, table opens, last index 0, because we're only going to be looking at one for the purpose of this video. I'm only demonstrating how we create the port, how we get the port up and running, and how we're polling a single register. We'll give this here a value input -1, and that's that. We'll close that. Next, we come to our system table and we look for the PLC table, and we enter in the slave PLC address. So let's make it 10 as our slave. Our connection is local, and via the port, which is PLC1, which we defined earlier. And we close that. Click to reduce that. Just reduce that. We don't need it open. Leave that open. Next, we come over to our IO link. Double click here, and we choose the site ID of the PLC address, the slave PLC address, and the data type. We'll just call it holding register, and the coordinate. Keep it simple. Coordinate 10, and it's 2 bytes. Okay, close that down. We come over here to our process. We select main, right click, and append process. And the second process we want to add is timer. And we'll give it a description. We'll call it poll timer. Again, you don't have to put this in. This is purely, you don't. Yeah, it's optional. It's totally optional, this description. But I mean, if you want to be organised and things like this, I think you should put it in. Okay, especially with ladder. We do the same thing again. We go to MODBUS Master, select, right click, append process, and the next process will be scan. and it's just basically we're going to be scanning the PLC value, but we can leave that, again, optional. Okay. Select main, right click, and we append rung. Then we'll give it a name, main 1. Now you see our workspace opens, and over here on the right we have all the ladder elements and our database, IO link, and process tabs. Let's click on the JSP tab. Bring that over here. Now, if you see here, we've got this highlighted area. Just click on that, and there's a bit of a drop down, and we want to jump to timer next, and we can close that. We'll save and close. We select main again, right click, append rung, and we'll call this main 2, and OK. And again, this is a jump to subprocess rung. Click that element, and we select the scan. Right, and we close that. That's good. Next we go to timer. We select timer, right click, append rung, and we call this PT001, and OK. So we bring in our normally closed contact, or our examine if open contact, and we click on the blue bit here, this blue top bit, and we want timer, and we want pole timer 0. Okay, then we bring the another time element in here, delay off. Okay, we join those two. Again, click there. And there can only ever be a timer, and OK. And that's great. We close that. Good. Then next we go to scan. Select scan, right click, append rung, and we'll call this SCN001. This will be scanning our PLC variable. Hit OK. We add a examine if closed or normally open contact, and we select timer. So our quick find symbol is pretty handy. This one here, timer, pole timer 0. It's great. Then we add this other variable here, a not equals. In here, we'll put that there. Now there's a couple of variables we use, and these are an indication if the PLC is busy, or what status. What's the COM status of the PLC? So now I'm going to add a bit of a comment here because I do have something prepared. It's probably easier for me to, rather than trying to explain it, I'll just copy and paste something that I prepared. And I'll put it in here. This is just explaining what this element is here. And the element we're talking about is this PLC site status not equal to PLC busy. Okay, you have a bit of a read of that. Next we put in our scan. We'll put that there. And we're scanning. Our value we put 1. There it is. And OK. And that's it. Last but not least, we select compile. And our compile output here. So if there's any errors or anything like that, they'll come up here. So we'll just compile that. Yep, no warnings, no errors. Select local. This is ready to download to the PLC or to our RTU, our MOSCAD. Download this. All being well, we'll bring up our mod sim, and here we go. So there's a table here we can monitor in the MOSCAD. So just click on database, and we go to PLC, double click PLC value, and we select monitor, and we say refresh continually. So we see it's receiving data from the PLC, from the MOSCAD, and we'll bring this here. Now we'll enter a value. So it was register 10, so we count from 1. We'll enter a value, say 500. There we go. So here we have the MODBUS successfully polling a slave device, and we've just entered a value here. That concludes part 2 video. of adding MODBUS Master to MODBUS Master to an ACE3600 port. Please let me know if you need any other information or anything else you'd like me to do with the MOSCAD. I'll probably continue with a example of a MODBUS slave RTU in the MOSCAD. Any questions, anything like that, please let me know. Comments, etc. Thank you for watching.